Hi, I am Sophie Robert Michalko, and I would like to introduce myself to you, a little bit about my background, why I do what I do, what I got out of out of using what I use, etc., etc. Hopefully it won't be too long. Stay with me for a little bit. Maybe it'll be entertaining. So the first thing is because I have an accent, so I'm sure you wonder. I was born in France, and I was born in a really nice family. We didn't have any big problems, and I moved to the United States when I was 21 to come to film school. I wanted to go to film school here in Hollywood. I stayed since then, so I've been here for a while now. So while I was growing up, if I have one thing that I would like to say is that I never felt like I fit anywhere. I never felt like people got me. I was pretty lonely. I didn't have a lot of friends. And I also had this really nagging feeling that I was just average, and I really did not want to be average. So I grew up with that, and I actually was pretty depressed. I was just doing okay in school, and for me, moving to the United States was changing things outside of me. I wanted things outside of me to change so I could feel better. Interesting, huh? So I moved across the world by myself. I went to school, and guess what? Nothing changed. Yeah, it was a different environment, different people, but I still felt average. I still felt like I didn't fit anywhere, and I still felt like nobody got me. So I went through college. I followed the rules, even though it was boring or not exciting to me. Followed the rules. Then years later, I am married. Let me go back a little bit. As soon as I left college, I started looking into what's possible, right? I read books, I did seminars, I used metaphysical laws, all of that, right? And I created a pretty good life for myself. Pretty quickly, I met somebody, and we had a wonderful love story. We were living in North Carolina. It was a beautiful house, 2 sweet little kids, a dog. I had a good job. I had everything to be happy, yet I wasn't happy. There was something that was missing. Me. I was missing me. I really did not know how to be in the world. I just knew that there was it was not congruent. There was a missing piece somewhere. So one day my friend sends me this link to listen to this guru online, and on the page she sends me, there's several links, and I click on the wrong link. And I hear this woman talk about pod and things that I could not understand. I didn't understand a word of what she was saying, but all I knew was that I felt amazing afterwards. I felt like something shifted for me, and I wanted to know more. So I bought her package, I took her class, and I studied the two modality that she was giving us, which was access consciousness. And so very quickly I realized that this was actually what I had been asking for my whole Pretty quickly I realized that this was what I had been asking for a long time. Probably since I was a kid, actually. I remember sitting in class, one of my first Access Consciousness class, it was called Foundation, looking at the manual, listening to the teacher, and be like, whoa, who got in my head? How did they get in my head? Everything they were saying, it was what I knew as a kid that was possible. But nobody else was saying it, and nobody was showing me that it was possible. So what does Access Consciousness do? Well, it does so many things. I mean, really, Access has so many tools for you to change things permanently. And also, for me, the most important part was I finally was able to be me. I finally was able to recognize that I was not average. I actually was extraordinary in many fields, but I was not supposed to be extraordinary in many fields. I was only supposed to be extraordinary in one field, which kept sticking me because I was extraordinary in many things. And I always had to lower myself because people, I could feel how many people had judgments and points of views about what I was doing, not doing, being, not being. And so I kept short, making myself smaller and smaller. So with Access Consciousness, I acknowledge the potency that I be. I acknowledge how weird and wacky I am, and I acknowledge everything that I can do, which is quite a lot of things. There may not be a lot of things I enjoy doing, but there's a lot of things that I'm able to do that I'm good at. How does it get any better than that? The other thing that Access taught me was to work with energy. Energy is our first language. Energy is everywhere. Everything is made of energy. And energy always contributes to us, and we create energy. We generate energy. So for me, I remember one of my first classes where I had to put my hands on somebody. Don't worry, there was nothing kinky there. Just, it was fine. I was putting my hands on somebody and I could feel my hands buzzing. And I didn't know that that was energy. I thought, oh, that's weird. But I didn't know before. And now I could acknowledge my ability, my talents and abilities with energy. Yeah. So what talents and abilities do you have that you're not acknowledging because maybe nobody gave you permission to, or nobody showed you what you were capable of? Okay, so those were the first two things, right? Then finally, one thing that I realized was so important in all of this, I had done so much work before and I had created a pretty good life for myself, but never had I included the body in all the work I had done. And the body is such a part of our life. It's how we create. It's how we choose what we choose. So for me, not to be in communication with my body was just making things not work. With Access Consciousness, I was able to work with my body, to talk to my body, to remove stuff that was blocking creation with my body. My body got to relax. My body got to be as beautiful as it knows to be. My body got to be. And that's the cool thing. There's nothing to do with Access Consciousness, but everything to be. And I don't know about you, but to know that me, who I am, who I be is plenty, it's enough, it's extraordinary, that I don't have to be anything that I don't want to be. I don't have to do anything I don't want to do. That's pretty cool. And if those things were not enough, there was something else that I got from Access Consciousness, something that I love sharing with the people I work with my students when they come to classes. And that is that I get to create my own reality while I am aware of this reality. So this is a very solid reality. There's a lot of things in this reality that we have decided if the door is closed, door is closed. Well, is the door really closed? Does that mean that I don't have access to the outside? So this reality would say the door is closed. My reality actually includes the outside even when the door is closed. So I got to really figure out that my reality was a lot greater, a lot more fun than what I was told it could be. So I know that may sound strange, and I'm sure you have lots of questions, and don't hesitate to contact me with the questions you have. Look around on the site, see what intrigues you, poke around, and I really, really, truly hope I get to meet you one day. Thank you for listening. Bye.